I'm Larry Fedorik, and this is I Was Eight, my weekly storytelling podcast about growing up in a small town on the Great Canadian Prairie. All of these stories are true. Some of the names have been changed. Next week, some bare-knuckle action. But now, holy wow, I was 8.
Season 3, Chapter 7, The Priesthood.
I've already talked about catechism on this podcast, but if you missed that episode, a quick refresher. Catechism is Catholic classes, like Sunday school, except ours was always held on a Saturday. Always. One might say religiously. And always in the basement of our church, which 12 months a year was always freezing and always smelled like cabbage. I understood the cabbage part. In Ukrainian food, even the desserts are made from cabbage. Should I go with the cabbage cake or the cabbage mousse? You know what? A slice of cabbage rhubarb pie, please, with a scoop of cabbage ice cream. Cabbage, yeah, but the cold. Oh, my goodness, the cold. By my 8-year-old understanding about the geographic locations of heaven and hell, weren't we 10 feet closer to hell down there? Shouldn't the temperature be going up the further down we go? I mean, they wouldn't be kidding me about a place like hell, would they? I don't think so. Boy, I'd like to go to hell for 5 minutes just to get the chill off. Class was taught by our parish priest, Father Harvenko, a good guy. His claim to fame was that he once worked in Rome at the Vatican. And there he was in our little small town in the middle of Canada. I don't know if he had Pope access, but he worked there. He wouldn't lie about that. Priests couldn't lie. We could lie, and we had to go to confession and do penance. But if a priest lied, well, they would just burst into flame on the spot. God, I wish somebody would burst into flame. It's freezing down here. In my little world, knowing someone who lived in Rome and worked at the Vatican, well, okay, it's not like you played in the NHL or you were a movie star, but it was a dose of celebrity to be sure. There were always about 6 or 8 of us in catechism class. Nobody wanted to be there. Think about it. You're 8. There's already regular school 5 days a week. I also had piano lessons. You were assigned chores around the house. Plus, you had other duties like baths and keeping your room tidy. Nothing but work, work, work. You already got me going to church on Sunday. Now this thing on Saturday. Where's my weekend? Where's my chill time? Oh, yes. Yes, Father, I'm listening. Yes, burning bush. Got it. Boy, that'd be nice now. Nice warm burning bush. Father Harvenko doled out the lessons, and we'd write little tests occasionally. We never got any grades or gold stars. I guess as good Catholics, gold stars were tantamount to the golden calf, a false idol not to be worshipped. I guess it was knowledge for knowledge's sake. Kind of ironic if you think about it, though, because wasn't the whole premise of the afterlife based on God keeping score? Can't I just get a star or a ribbon, a frameable A+ report card, something? Amen? I was expected to be good at catechism, Catholic school, not only because we were Catholic, but because I was pretty good at regular school. Reading, writing, arithmetic. I was a good speller. I was a teacher's kid, and it wouldn't do for the teacher's kid to be an idiot. It's funny because when I look back at some of the other kids in our town, I was a smart teacher's kid. The kid whose dad ran the grocery store was one of the fattest kids in town. The barber's son always had a really perfect haircut. But the daughter of the minister from this other church, well, she was just bad. That wouldn't come in handy till high school. I'm sure in the meantime, she would have benefited from a little catechism. One of the hardest things about catechism was actually the sound of other kids playing outside on a Saturday while we sat in the cabbage factory taking lessons. I think they did that on purpose. I remember thinking that if I were God, I would smite them. Not sure what a good smiting involved, but I'd heard it wasn't good. We stayed with the main cast of characters, usually God, Jesus, the apostles. Occasionally, a more obscure saint would make a cameo. Okay, Christopher, good job. You deserve a medal. You know, if you think about it, it's all good. Young children, learning values and principles, how to live a better life, shun evil, be nice to each other, and all that baloney. But at the end, there was always fear God or burn in hell. Wow, are those my only two choices? Speaking of choices, one day at Catechism, Father Harvenko's quiz was all multiple choice. Love the multiple choice, right? You had a better chance. You didn't have to necessarily remember the entire lesson. You could just read the question. Who was the... Well, I seem to recall the name Luke being mentioned a few hours ago. Check mark Luke. Question 2, fishes and loaves. Check. Question 3, I'm going to go with Bethlehem, I think. I know it wasn't Chicago. Yeah. Question 4, Apostles' Creed. 5, Pontius Pilate. Sounds like Pontiac. We have a Pontiac. Always remember that. What else we got here? Let's see. Abraham, Mary Magdalene, Eucalyptus, something, Garden of Eden. Venial sin, no coveting, Jesus Christ, I'm done. Hand up, Father, I'm done. Can I go outside now, into the sun? Or just anywhere where there's a heat source, please, Lord? This one Saturday, there was an added question on our quiz. Would you like to be a priest or a nun one day? Options, yes. No, maybe. Well, I don't remember this being taught. Oh, he wants to know. Wonder what the right answer is. Oh, and a small note, we all signed our names to our quizzes. Well, option 1, yes. Well, I guess, why not? Priests can't get married, that's a benefit. Girls, yuck. Although, I think you have to be a priest for life, don't you? There was other things I wanted to be. Race car driver, jet pilot. Always wanted to own a candy store, so, can't really say yes. So, option 2, no. Well, I'm only 8. I don't want to close any options this early. I mean, I didn't play hockey, so no NHL. I'd never be in the movies, probably. So maybe if I become a priest, I could go to the Vatican and live in Rome and then come back into town and be a minor celebrity. So I don't know. I don't want to say no. Well, maybe. Sure. Why not? Check mark. Maybe. I forgot about that answer the second I handed in my quiz. About 3 weeks later, lazy Sunday afternoon, I'm up in my room catching up on some important reading. Jughead, hamburger. And I hear some cars sound like they all pulled up to our house all at once. I looked out and saw Father Harvenko's pale green Ford Galaxy 500, then 2 big black cars I'd never seen before, and a big black van. It seemed like 8 or 10 guys got out, all men in black. Father Harvenko in his regular black priest suit with the backward white collar, a couple of other guys, similar suits, but a couple wore like black vestments with huge wooden crosses around their neck and purple beanies. About 6 of them walked toward our back door, and the rest stood by the vehicles. I assumed they were the guards. Were they armed? I ran downstairs to hear what I'm sure was just a tap, tap, tap on our back door, but to me sounded like... Mom answered the door as I watched from around the corner. What was going on? I went to church that day. I was at catechism yesterday. Did I screw up the quiz? Was Jesus born in Chicago after all? I mean, I could hear a bunch of whispering as Mom invited them in. Dad came in from the garage to find 6 holy men standing in his kitchen. What the hell? But they're company, so Dad asked if any one of them would like a glass of whiskey. This prompted a stern look from Mom, although I think at least 3 of the fathers were about to raise their hand. I still had no idea what was going on. Finally, Mom came around the corner and said to me, "They tell me you have expressed interest in becoming a priest." "You never told me anything about that." "They want to talk to you about it." Oh, Christ. Oh, crap. Oh, that. Well, just a jet pilot, candy store, babbling. I was trapped. Father Harvenko and half of the Saskatoon diocese were in my house. 2 of the beanie-wearing big cross guys came and sat me down in our living room. Mom, Dad, and the rest were in the kitchen with the door closed. They pulled out my quiz sheet with the maybe check mark and asked me why I thought I might want to be a priest. I remember they explained that I could take high school at a special place in the city where you also learned about the church and priesthood. Sounded like full-time catechism. And then, after high school, a special university. Much of that interview is a blur to me. I think I started to cry. I didn't want to leave my family. We had our flaws, but this was home. Hey, maybe one day I would like to marry a girl and drive race cars. I remember at the end, they said to me, "Pray with us," and we all bowed our heads. I imagine they prayed. I just panicked. I thought I might have to go with them. Eventually, they went back to the kitchen, so I ran up to my room and tried to get my mind off things. Jughead suddenly didn't seem that amusing anymore. When I heard the cars leave, I came back downstairs. "Am I moving away to priest school?" I asked. "No, you are not," Mom said assuredly. And that was it. "Supper will be ready in about an hour." Okay. I dodged one there. We never talked of that again. Oh, we still did church. Eventually I became an altar boy in good standing, but not even Father Harvenko ever brought up the recruitment team that descended upon my home that one day. For about a month, I was nervous every time a car pulled up near our house. Oh no, are they coming to get me? Oh, no, it's just Uncle Mike. Phew. Catechism was off for a few weeks. But over that time, I managed to track down all of the other kids who were in that class that day. I asked them if they remembered the last question on the quiz. Would you like to be a priest or a nun? Every one of them checked the box that said no. The correct answer.
I Was 8 is a weekly storytelling podcast written, produced, and voiced by Larry Fedoruk. A new episode every Thursday on all major platforms or Larry's I Was 8 YouTube channel. Tell a friend about his podcast and reach out to Larry Fedoruk, that's Fedoruk, at larryfedoruk37@gmail.com.